The Legend of Firefly, an intergalactic bedtime story from the Pleiades, in honor of the teachings of Jamie Sams and the 13 original clan mothers. Adapted story and original artwork by Tracey Milne. Dedicated to the children of Earth. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, in the Pleiades, in a constellation known as the Great Buffalo, there lived a little star named Forgets to Twinkle. Forgets to Twinkle wasn't like all the other stars, who were silly and cheerful and bright. All they ever seemed to want to do was play and have fun and laugh. Forgets to Twinkle was a serious sort of star. He liked to go off on his own and think big thoughts and wonder big wonderings. Sometimes this left him feeling different. So alone, in fact, that sometimes he would forget to twinkle at all, which is how he earned his name. One night, Forgets to Twinkle went to his grandmother, the moon, to ask for her permission to leave the Sky Nation and go closer to the earth. He was hoping to find his purpose in life and thought maybe the Earth Mother held some clues. She waited until he had finished explaining all of the reasons why it would be a good idea to let him go, and finally said, "Yes, of course you may go, but please remember, the Earth Mother's magnetism is very, very strong. Strong enough to hold you there and keep you from returning home. Just stay safely in the sky and have a grand adventure. May you find the answers to your big wonderings," she said. And then she kissed him on his forehead and sent him on his way. As he flew off, the little star promised to remember her warning. Then off he sped towards the Earth Mother and straight into what he decided was sure to be the greatest adventure of his life so far. That night, he traveled all over the earth. He was happier than he could ever remember being, and it showed. For that night, he shone brighter than he could ever remember shining. To the creatures of the earth, he certainly was a sight to behold, and everyone he encountered that night greeted him with friendly wonder and excitement. Perhaps being an explorer is my purpose in life, he thought, as he came to rest on the clouds above Sacred Mountain. There, the little star sat watching the creature tribe play in the moonbeams below. After a while, Forgets to Twinkle called down and asked if he could play too. Too bad for our little friend. It was the trickster, Coyote, who answered his call.
"I would love to play with you, little star brother, but I think you are too far away."
Then Coyote smiled a wicked smile, and with a gleam of troublemaking in his eyes, he said,
"Why don't you come a little closer?"
Forgets to Twinkle thought a moment, remembering his grandmother's warning. He knew he had to stay safely in the sky, but he really wanted to have some fun with his new friend. He finally decided he could go a little closer, just for a little while, and then he would carry on with his quest. For a long time that night, the little star danced happily in the air while Coyote danced on the earth below. Then, very slowly, Coyote began speaking softer and softer, drawing the little star closer and closer with his whispered words of friendship and fun. Forgetting his promise to his grandmother, Forgets to Twinkle floated farther and further out of the sky, and soon he was so close, he was floating just above Coyote's head. And then, do you know what that old trickster did? He snatched him right out of the air and he gobbled him up whole. Oh, poor Forgets to Twinkle. Luckily for him, a scout with a tail saw the whole thing. He traveled as fast as he could, back up into the Sky Nation, where he sounded the alarm. He went straight to Grandmother Moon and explained everything that he saw. In the twinkling of an eye, the earth was flooded with the lights of 10,000 searching stars. But Coyote is very, very good at the game of hide and seek, and so it took the great Sky Nation a long time to find him that night. That still left our little friend trapped in the belly of Coyote. Once he stopped thinking so hard, he got an idea. That led to another idea, and he remembered a song his parents had taught him and his sisters when they were very little stars. They told him to sing it whenever he felt small or lost. They said it would help him get bigger and brighter, and so he began to sing. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh yeah. Suddenly the trick was on the trickster as his whole furry body lit up bright as the sun. His game of hide-and-seek was quickly over and lost when the cloud people discovered him hiding beneath a tree. He tried very hard to cover up his brightness. He tried very hard to keep the game going. But the cloud people chased him, constantly pelting him with rain and hail and lightning. In a panic, Coyote opened his mouth and spat the little star out onto the ground. But it was too late. Coyote's tail had already been zapped by lightning. Some say that's why it's so skinny, even to this day. That still left our little star friend trapped on the earth. No matter how hard he tried, he could not fly any further than the tip of Sacred Mountain. And his sky relatives couldn't come any closer without getting stuck too. Finally, in desperation, he sat down on a rock, and there he called out to the Earth Mother herself and asked her to please release him so that he could go home. When still there was no answer, the little star curled up near a pond and fell asleep, and this is what he dreamed. He dreamed that the ground beneath him began to shake and splinter, forming an enormous hand that gently held him. He dreamed of a beautiful lady with kind green eyes and a sweet, soft voice. He knew it was the Earth Mother when she said, "Forgets to twinkle, if I release you from my magnetism, all of my other children will go floating off into the sky where they do not belong. This will frighten them very much, and I'm sorry to say there is no way to grant your request without hurting my other children. You will have to choose what kind of a creature you would like to be, for you see, little one, you will have to stay here with us now." Forgets to Twinkle was sad because he knew the Earth Mother could not let him go home. He was the one who had forgotten his promise to his grandmother, and he knew he had to find a brand new way of being. He still wanted to be able to fly like the members of the Sky Nation and see the world from above as he always had. And he hoped that his sky relations would visit him often. He sure was going to miss them. He finally decided to ask the Earth Mother to make him into a flying creature that could shine like a star. She smiled at him once more, and then the dream hand gently placed him back down next to the pond, which was just beginning to show the reflection of a new sunrise. When Forgets to Twinkle awoke that morning, it was to discover he had become a member of the insect tribe. He was now a flying, creepy crawler with a star in his tail, so that he could still twinkle with his sky relations. He also had 4 new companions made from his star tips, so that he need not begin his new journey alone. He was overjoyed. We named him Firefly, though many call him by his nickname, Lightning Bug. It is said coyotes still runs and hide whenever they see the glow from this little bug, fearing they really do bring the lightning. We two-leggeds are reminded to look for the gleam of the trickster in someone's eye before believing in their offers of friendship, and to always, always remember to let our light shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh yeah.